Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And in this video, we're going to be talking to you about, will I be replaced?
This is a fear that many of you have. And this
Yeah.
is a fear that exists in and out of relationships.
Yeah, it's really tough, especially if you know that your ex is interested in somebody else. Then it's like, I can't believe I got replaced so quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You know, we all wonder on some level if our ex can truly move on, find somebody else, and we'll get really replaced. And it's tough because there's a lot of different ways you could look at it. You know what I mean? Like, and we're going to get into that. So I don't want to jump the gun on all of them. But one of the things that's going to happen is that you're going to question your value. You're going to question what you meant to that person and think, well, how could they give me up if they considered me valuable? I must have not been too valuable for them to give me up.
Right? And this really sets us into a panic sometimes, right? We feel threatened by the potential others, whether they have a face, whether they don't have a face or a name, right? Sometimes it's just the idea that our ex could be with somebody else that's really scary to us,
Yep.
even if it's not a specific person that they might be interested in or have in mind. And so it can cause us to be in this place where we compare ourselves endlessly, maybe to a standard that doesn't even exist, right? We have this idea of who could replace us, and then we start comparing ourselves to this person or ideal that we've made up and putting all this unnecessary pressure on ourselves.
Yep.
The other side of it is it could also cause us to be quite hateful or judgmental towards other people, right? And this is really one of those ego defense mechanisms, right? I don't say this to say that, sometimes these thoughts don't come up or whatever it might be, but sometimes in order to protect our ego, we will fault find in a potential partner of our ex in order to make us feel better.
Yeah, we see that a lot.
Oh, we see it a lot.
Yeah.
And we understand why it happens. So we're not here to say, you're hateful. No, we're here just to bring some light to it and say, okay, let's talk about it for what it is. Sometimes these things do happen. We realize that as an ex-partner, we are not a neutral party, right?
And sometimes you're right about that person. Let's be honest.
Good.
What? It's true. You saw the picture of Beaky Buzzard. You know it's true. Do I need to remind you? I have those pictures I could show you.
And so the truth here is that you can't be replaced. And I know this sounds so cheesy and you probably expected us to say it, but it's true. Even the person that you were in the relationship can't be replaced. You showed up how you showed up, and that is the memory that they'll have. So they can replace the role of a partner, the role of a girlfriend, or the role of a boyfriend, right? But they cannot replace you and who you are. Right? Attachment is person specific. And I'll give you this example. So I don't know if many of you grew up with babysitters, but you may or may not remember some of the first times that you were with a babysitter, right? And as a kid, you know that this babysitter isn't your parent. They're taking on the role of a caregiver temporarily, but you understand that this is not the person that you're attached to. This is not the person that nurtures you consistently. This is not the person that you've grown to trust. This is somebody filling in that role. So while your partner is definitely not your parent, my point here is that attachment is specific to the person that you attach to. You can't just pick up some attachment and then place it on somebody else like that. Intimacy takes time to build. Trust takes time to build. And so the relationship that you had, it was built on something.
Yeah. We're not objects. Okay? Now, if you're going to look in the deep end of the pool, Freud would talk about objects and object relations and how we can see each other in ways as objects for somebody that does something that gives me something, that takes care of me in some way. But that's not a whole person. If they're seeing you as somebody that's just meeting this need, it's, that's not a healthy dynamic. It's not a healthy connection, that they're just using people for specific things in their life. So that is going to be reflective of who they are and how unhealthy or healthy they may be, that they're just using somebody to get something. Right. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, so it can come from a place of them viewing you as this need gratifying object is the terminology. So they see you as this person who can give them something, right? You're just the role. You're not the person.
Yeah.
In a relationship, you want to be accepted for all of you, not just the role that you play in their life, but also just who you are, the things you're into, your flaws, your strengths, all of it. Now, there's going to be some people that have a list of check boxes, right? They have certain relationship goals in life. Maybe they want to get married, maybe they want to have kids. And so in that case, they're going to try to find somebody that's more aligned with them. But if you're with a partner that you feel like is always just trying to find better, right, and replace you with quote unquote better, this ominous better, then that can be really objectifying, right?
Yeah.
That can really swipe away what makes you uniquely you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't want to be just an object or something that your person is looking for. You want to be loved because of who you are, all the qualities that you have, all the experiences that make you unique and make us each unique. We want to be chosen for that. I remember a woman that I dated years ago, that part of me felt like, well, she wants to marry me because she wants to be married. We were still in our early 20s, and I wasn't ready for that yet. And I had concerns about her behavior and her temper. And, but part of me felt like her parents got married very, very young, and she only wanted to be with me because she's ready to get married. And that didn't make me feel good. And it made me feel like, this isn't right and that was just part of it. But that, I know that feeling of, is it because you just want to be married and not because you want to marry me? And then she wound up getting married to like the next guy she dated.
Wow. And
it didn't even work out. So, did she rush into that because she was ready for marriage and kids? Hard to say, but I know that feeling of feeling like I'm being selected here because I'm an object, or I'm meeting some kind of need for you, and I don't want to be just that.
Right.
Nobody wants to feel like just that. You know?
People are complex, multidimensional. We're all multidimensional beings, and we want to be loved and accepted for who we are.
I feel like aliens or something are watching from another dimension. We're multidimensional.
We're really multidimensional up here.
Multidimensional, get your X back strategies. What happens when my X is in the 4th dimension and I'm on the 19th dimension? How do I get them back?
Do not contact them through light years. So when we think about being replaced, right, we can feel an immense amount of pressure to morph into what we think our partner wants us to be, or our ex wants us to be. Yeah. Right? Yep. And so we can start to lose some of our authenticity and start to morph into, okay, I'm going to be this perfect person in this perfect role, however you see this role fit, in order for me to not be replaced, right? And that really causes us to lose our spark. Yeah. Right? So part of this video is to think back on what makes you you, what makes you unique, and talking just about how important acceptance is in relationships. Now, that doesn't mean that your partner should or you should accept any kind of abuse or tolerate any kind of abuse, but acceptance is really foundational to relationships. Feeling accepted by your partner.
Yeah. Many of you might have the black and white kind of thinking about whether or not you could be replaced. But I don't see it like that. You don't see it like that. We see it as there's a lot of different things to consider. And yes, we did talk about, okay, well, maybe the role is replaced, that they choose someone else to be with as their partner. But it doesn't mean that who you are and how you showed up in their life is going to have any less meaning for them, and how you were irreplaceable in many ways for them.
Exactly. And as we're talking about growth and change and how we evolve as people, right? So as you evolve and work on these relationship skills, then that also makes it much more difficult for them to just jump ship and attach to somebody else really quickly. Yeah. So, the older I get, the more I think about how powerful the way you treat others is. That really is what sticks with people.
Yep. Yeah. And it can last a lifetime. I mean, we've heard exes coming back after 50 years, 27 years, lots of years. In other words, that people don't forget about you, and in many ways, you're not replaceable.
Right. So your authenticity is important, and treating people well is important.
All right. So hopefully this has been helpful to you. Of course, if you want to get our help personally, you could do that on my website, askgreg.net. I do email coaching and I do Zoom calls. Coach Victoria is also available for Zoom calls.
I'm here whenever you'd like to chat.
Just click on her name on the top of the website to schedule with her, no matter which dimension you may be living in. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon.